Let's focus in on the defense. A lot of moves. Eric, let's start with you first this week. What do you think about the Browns' defense after all these free agency pickups?
Yeah, I mean, it was perceived as a slow start, but looking back at it, I think Andrew Barry did a fantastic job with his defense. He didn't overspend. He improved areas of perceived weakness and I guess actual weakness, but he pretty much hit every single group that needed to be addressed. Obviously, none of them are finished products. We're going to have to further address in the draft, but I really like the Malik Jackson signing. He's had similar stats to the departed Larry Ogunjobi as far as sacks, tackles, um, but he has had almost double his hits on quarterbacks to Ogunjobi over the last couple of years on average. Also, nice added bonus as far as the team's concerned. He had a $4.5 million salary this year, as opposed to Ogunjobi was making 6.2 million. So I know Jackson's obviously been in the league a lot longer. However, he's also been more consistent over that time period. He's been doing the same kind of things the past 7 or 8 years. I think 2019 he missed. He only played one game, but every other season other than that, he's been pretty solid and reliable over the last, like I said, 7, 8 years. Whereas Ogunjobi's just getting off his rookie deal, and this last year was his worst season going back to his rookie, statistically speaking. And which even makes it more impressive was, I don't remember the year, maybe it was 2018. I want to say he played with a torn biceps for the whole year and has still played pretty well for a guy that's injured that well. So really like that Malik Jackson signing. Anthony Walker, I think that is I think it goes without saying, an upgrade over BJ Goodson. Um, he's been averaging 20 to 25 more tackles per year than BJ Goodson over the last 4 or 5 seasons. Well, I guess he's only been in the league for 4 years, so the last 4 seasons. Um, Again, his sacks, interceptions, quarterback hits are similar to Goodson, but around within his own team's locker room and around the league, he's shown as a team leader. You saw the video that Darius Leonard had posted out there, kind of wishing him the best, and sad to see him go. And you don't really see that for an incoming Browns player. So that was great to see. We're getting guys that not only are good at football but are leaders and can help out their position groups. His salary is 3.5 million, which is pretty modest compared to other positions. So that makes again, that kind of, it's team friendly, and hopefully he cashes in. If it's with the Browns, great. If it's not, hopefully get him for a good year. BJ Goodson's still unsigned. I don't want to diminish him by any means, but I don't know what's going on there. So it looks like this, obviously for many reasons, it appears as an upgrade. So I've said this a million times. I'll say a million and one. I'm hoping he is the veteran presence that can help Sione Takitaki and Matt Wilson develop. Um, Being that leader, we'll see. I have a feeling both those two are kind of on their last hurrah. Um, yeah.
Jacob Phillips,
Otherwise,
man.
yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think Phillips is kind of already ahead of them, but they still need another guy to go with them. It could be a rookie; he could just jump right over those two younger veterans, but we'll see in time.
Yeah, the effort has certainly been there. Like we have all of these position groups that have been addressed, but Drew, you were pretty strong in the beginning of free agency. We needed to address the defensive end, address the defensive line. Do you think this has been strong enough? Beggars can't be choosers here. I think this has been a lot that the Browns have done. I'm feeling pretty happy, but is this strong enough? Is there weakness to some of these moves?
To some of the moves they've made, no, he's done an incredible job. He's 2 for 2 in free agency in my book. To pair all of the people that he has this year with what he did last year, with Hooper and Jack Conklin, right? Those signings, Conklin, Hooper, John Johnson, who they get for at least 2 years, maybe even 3, depending on how the voidable years work. That's an incredible signing with Troy Hill, the best slot cornerback in the league last year. He's from Youngstown, has the 330 tattoo on his arm. Was really happy.
Nice.
Yes, there you go. Really happy to see those two. This was the best pass defense in the league last year, and those two are reasons probably 2 and 3 around it, right? The Rams have some excellent cornerbacks there, but between John Johnson III and Troy Hill, that was a huge part of that secondary. And to come out of it, even with those, I was happy with John Johnson. I was happy with John Johnson making, I always said get one guy in free agency, round out some of the roster if you can, and then build through the draft. And they've done way more than that. Troy Hill, I view as a starter. The Browns will be in plenty of situations where they need 3 cornerbacks on the field. He'll see it almost 50% of the snaps. Malik Jackson will compete for a starting job opposite Sheldon. He'll compete with Billings, and I think the 3 of them will form a really good rotation there. They had nobody behind those 2. So that'll be great to add some depth there. And, I am thrilled with this front office in free agency, right? They've made some moves in the draft that I thought were, B plus type moves, not the route I would have gone at those 2 positions. I would have gone with the guys that just won a Super Bowl at the respective positions, right? Tackle and safety, but that's fine, right? We'll see, how this works out in the end. The book has not been written on those 4 people yet, tackles and safeties for the Browns and Buccaneers, but I am thrilled with this front office, right? I even like that they brought back Malcolm Smith, right? I think between Anthony Walker Jr., Malcolm Smith, and Jacob Phillips, those are your 3 sort of starting linebackers, right? I think if they go, base 4-3 defense, that Taki might be listed as a starter at Sam. But I think those are the 3 people that will play the most. Those are the people who can cover. Those are the people with speed. Those are the 3 that I would want to see on the field most. So I think that this has been an incredible free agency period. When you pair all those guys we talked about, John Johnson III, Tack McKinley, Troy Hill, Malik Jackson, Anthony Walker, Malcolm Smith, you pair all of those with the people that weren't in the playoffs for this team. Guys like Odell Beckham Jr., Greedy Williams, Grant Delpit. The amount of new talent added to this team already is incredible. They do have a weakness at defensive end, and they have a major question mark with Greedy Williams as your number 2 cornerback. But I think at least one of those positions can be addressed in the NFL draft, and you'll have a first-round rookie probably starting at one of those 2. I have my thoughts on who they should take, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, this has the potential to be, the best roster this team has had since they went 12-4 when the Bernie Kosar and the boys were playing, when a lot of our viewers weren't even born, and we were, 5? We were 5 years old, 4 years old, something like that. This has the potential to be the best roster since that team, and maybe even better than that team. I cannot wait for the fall.
And the one thing, and I know we're just talking about defense, but the one thing that I've talked about in many of these off seasons is continuity. Mm-hmm. And the offense is going to have continuity. Rashard Higgins coming back, and Njoku, they guaranteed his contract. Looks like he'll probably be back. Mm-hmm. So you have all of these players who, rounded out the offense. They get another chance to play together and play even better next year. Defense, they're going to have to learn from each other. There's some key pieces that are still going to be on this team. A fair amount of continuity, but we're going to have more depth. If we run into injuries, which injuries always happen, we have some extra depth at a lot of these key positions to make a run deep in the season, deep into the playoffs.